represented by the Attorney General of the Federation, has reaffirmed the federal government's stand and commitment to tackling, this menace. And drug abuse is not just a health problem now; it has now become a security challenge. Now, according to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, organized drug trafficking fuels violence, strengthens criminal networks, and threatens peace and development. This year, the World Drug Day theme was the World Drug Problem, persistent issues, new challenges, and innovative responses. In Nigeria, within the last 18 months, the agency in charge of uh, the prohibition of drugs and illicit substances, talking about National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested 29,000 suspected drug offenders and secured more than 5,200 convictions. They've seized illicit drugs worth about 1.5 trillion naira. Is a lot. These gains are commendable, but experts agree that enforcement alone will not solve the problem. And that's why we're bringing it to the fore this morning. Today on Factfile, we're asking, why are young people increasingly abusing drugs? Is enforcement enough, or should more attention be given to prevention and rehabilitation? What more should the government also do? What more should parents and communities do to win the war against drugs? Let's have your conversation and let's have your reactions this morning. 0912 423 0865. A very good morning to you and welcome to Factfile. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from? Johnson from Ojo, Lagos. You're most welcome.
On the young populace of our people. The problem we have is that the government we are having today is not doing anything about it. They are just brushing from the top. Politicians using those boys that are they are the ones using them as downs. They are the ones using them, they are the ones empowering them, they are the ones that is causing the problem. The moment we get the government's right, all these other enforcements will be okay. It's not about trying to enforce what is not enforceable because the government, the politicians are the ones arming the boys and they are the ones letting them do what they are doing. And without controlling the government, without getting the government right, can't do anything about that. Thank you, and
Thank you so much for your contribution. 0913 0865. 0912 423 0865. That is the number for you to call to be a part of the show. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Factfile. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Emeka is calling from Yanapaja.
All right, Emeka from Yanapaja. You're most welcome.
Thank you. Very good one this morning. I believe you are doing it in effect of the June 26th, World Drug Free Day of last week. Yes, you mentioned the issue of rehabilitation and enforcement. Both are good. But the problem we are having is that even in the enforcement, our courts are not helping us at all. You will see our drug dealers and we go to courts and then we give them minimal sentence and then or ask them to pay a fine. And so then I know that NDLA is doing so much of both. It will go a long way in coping the way a new entrant into drug dealing enters into the business. And then for NDLA and other spirited organizations working on and counseling. I know they are doing so well. But then the government's own rehabilitation and counseling centers are cheaper to handle than private owned one, because in private owned rehabilitation centers, you spend a lot to be able to raise or to counsel or rehabilitate a drug user. So government should do their best to ensure that they empower NDA and a lot to be able to allow public or other people who cannot access rehabilitation at private level to go to government or rehabilitation centers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your contribution. 0912-423-0865. That is the number for you to call to be a part of the show. Remember to turn down the volume of your radio, or you turn it off completely for a smooth conversation. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Brown.
All right, bouncing from Ayabo. You're most welcome.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you. This is a very nice topic. Very unfortunate. In my early life, I grew up in the military era. In those days, even when we were in secondary school, primary school, there's nothing like drugs. You don't know that you call drugs in those days. Because the military, the reason they are using it, they hide it, it may be partner to themselves. So in this era of democracy, it has become elaborate because every politician wants to have 10 or 20 people gathering them. They want to use. So they do them, some of these drugs, they can't buy it. They can't. Where is the money to buy drugs? It is the politicians that need to expand all these things. Use them to scatter things to do politics. Scatter things. Because the only thing you can do now to solve this problem, to reduce this drug something, let all those politicians be more responsible. Let them catch them. Let them do anything that is able to fight and know that these people, they can't do without it. So that's the only thing we can do. Let's start from politicians. Let's arrest them. Let's take them. Let's fight them. Let's start their houses. They'll find all these things to reduce. Thank you, my brother.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution. I remember quite well, sometime during the military regime in Nigeria, that would be during the regime of the late Muhammad Buhari, 1984, if I'm not mistaken, when there was capital punishment for drug trafficking in Nigeria, right? It actually received a lot of backlash from the international community. But come 2026, it's now become a problem. It's become a menace. And I really don't know if we're going to go back to that era. Maybe it will serve as deterrent to others who are actually peddling or probably using drugs or found with illicit substances. I really don't know. 0912-423-0865. Let's have your reactions. A very good morning to you and welcome to Factfile. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from. All right, you're most welcome. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want to agree with you. Let us talk about solution. Because with all the activity measures by government agencies against drug abuse and rising rates of child trafficking, kidnapping, armed robbery, other crimes and criminality. My brother, if you ask me, I would suggest that the solution will hinge on education. And how do I mean? I want all the strategies of government, from local government to state to federal government, to make education number one priority when it comes to their annual budget. Let them make education free, compulsory and educative. And education, if you ask me, as I define it, is only weapon of liberation from sickness, from ignorance, from child trafficking, kidnapping, armed robbery, other crimes and criminalities. And secondly, the issue of character information and it did not change until religious worship should be truncated. Therefore, I urge all our religious leaders and traditional leaders to rise up and partner with government in this holy crusade against drug abuse. Good morning.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your contribution. 0912-423-0865. That is the number for you to call to be a part of the show. Remember to turn down the volume of your radio. You turn it off completely for a smooth conversation. You could also hit us up on the X platform, and that is at Great Power Network. Not forgetting WhatsApp 0912-423-0865. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Factfile. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from. All right, go ahead, please.
You know, it is very difficult for the world to drug abuse. People that are urgently go out and those people are doing drugs. Honestly, some of them are also participating, they are also culpable. You go to some junctions, you find some of what these officers, they will sit together with some of these Utopa towns. They will have a share back office. Even some of them are not even sit together with them. They will move by there and then go to somewhere and take their own. Without anybody who tells you, it's on their faces. So it is difficult for us, with the kind of huge amount of money, with the kind of stress that government is put out, what we need to do, government will continue to partner with you guys and the media to continue saying, and every home, schools, partner with the school owner, government should consider having a meeting of allow the patients and the principal, even the NUT level, government should also allow these people to be partner with them so that they will be discussing about it. Even all this, what they call the transport owner, the NURCW and the national, all this road stuff. So all these people around must be on there. So people will continue saying it because, as I said, it is very difficult for us to win the war. So we just continue saying it and then we now go back home and they start telling their children. So if we do that, maybe the subsequently work, we can continue. But presently, I don't think so. Government was like every support of government. Okay, I don't need work. Government should partner with the people like the landlord and sector. We will continue saying it and we can win the war.
All right.
Good morning and God bless you.
Good morning, and thank you so much for your contribution. 0912-423-0865. 0912-423-0865. We will be joined shortly by our resource person. We're trying as much as possible to get across to him, and of course, we get to ask questions that have definitely been on our minds. 0912-423-0865. We could also have your reactions to this national discourse. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Factfile. Hello, good morning. All right, 0912-423-0865. Adebayo is here from Ikeja. Drug abuse is becoming too common among young people. Government should focus more on prevention and rehabilitation, not just arrests. Zainab is also sending a message from Kano. Parents have a big role to play. Many children start using drugs because there is no proper guidance or monitoring at home. We also have Chinedu here. Clearly he's trying, but drug traffickers keep finding new ways. Intelligence sharing and community policing should be strengthened. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Factfile. And welcome to Factfile. Please turn down the volume of your radio. You turn it off completely. join conversation. Hello, I can hear you. All right, 0912-423-0865. Let's take your reactions now. As long as we are having it, we are definitely taking them. Insecurity and drug abuse go hand in hand. Many violent crimes are committed under the influence of hard drugs. We must tackle both together. Joining us now is trainer and project manager with the Global Initiative on Substance Abuse, Dr. Adetolu Olatunde. A very good morning to you and welcome to Factfile.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
All right. Because of time, let's start with the connection of hard drugs to crime. And again, how is drug proceeds being used to finance terrorism?
Okay, thank you very much. The issue of drugs, I want to give the foundation has been raised over there. Now to drugs we're talking about, apart from the drugs that are meant for medication, we also have some drugs we call the psychoactive substances. And they have the effect on the central nervous system on the brain. And they are affecting the perceptions, the behavior, and the mood of people. Now, we're talking about this relationship with crime. And the direct between this, combination will enhance the evil thoughts that people who are having initially. It makes them to be good and they are able to carry out all these various activities. And so, advantage sometimes people take it because when they get to the brain, it helps to help the brain to decrease the transmitter we call dopamine, which gives them the euphoria to operate and to act. And that's why we can see nowadays the web of crime so terrible and there's need for us to tackle the thing head on. Otherwise, if you don't stop it, you stop the people. That's why we can also see video of what is happening all over. In Southwest here now, the whole thing has come. People cannot go to their villages again. Just staying under the plane. And so that is the situation. And to tackle this thing, it requires a lot of scientific methods. And we start from the family itself. Whatever is, whatever video the post outside, the function of the family where you come from. The family is the great place of foundation. And you go through the socialization process. Your mother, your father, your uncles, the extended family, they are the teachers, they are the mentors, they are the motivators. So you want to put the child through. The child is not coming as a plain person. As soon as they arrive, they start to put one thing or the other into it. So we have to go back to the village. We have to go back to the community. In those days, you are afraid of your family. You don't want to fight the name of your family. Then nowadays, those people don't care. Now, as a parent, I'm trade. A child of 19 who finds the cow who has a 100 million and is celebrated. Then there's trouble, there's problem for the land. All these things are what we need to do. And, so what we need to do now is prevention is the key thing now. Prevention. So, very good. DAA and the government, they are doing the supply reduction, which is fantastic. And they are
right. I was just about getting. I was just about getting there. Talking about the efforts of the NDLEA in curbing drug abuse and trafficking. Are we indeed? Are we tackling it, or are we hitting the nail on the head, or we're just scratching the surface when it comes to curbing this? Yeah. All right. Now, the sale of alcoholic drinks in sachet, they have actually become a thing now. What exactly do you say to that? What's your standpoint? Yeah. All right, let's have your parting shots to the nation on effective control of drug abuse and trafficking, especially as some experts say we're sitting on top of gunpowder at this point. All right. right, Dr. Adetolu, thank you so much for your contribution to this national discourse. We sincerely appreciate you. All right, this is definitely the package right here on Factfile. Law enforcement agencies cannot do it alone. We need parents, we need schools, religious institutions, communities, and government to have all hands on deck in curbing and of course stopping young people from the dangers of drug abuse. This has been a package of Yoande Iwoha with production assistance from Aruyemo Iniolua. My name is Omar Wajo. To stay with your number one independent radio station, Wake Up. Good morning.